Hello, my name is Paul, and I'd like to thank you for purchasing an ES03 powder coating system from powderbythepound.com. Now I'd like to take a few minutes to show you how to set up your system to begin powder coating. First off, I always like to grab our manual here and make sure that we have all our parts shipped to us and we're ready to go before we start connecting everything. So turn to usually about page 2 or 3 depending on the model you have. This one is page 3 on the 03. We have our ES03 control box, we have our manual gun, we have our 2-pound fluidizing hopper with powder pump, we have 12 foot of powder hose, we have a 15-foot black 1/4 inch air line, 5 foot red, 5 foot of clear, and a 5 foot of blue 1/4 inch air line tubing. We also have an ES03 quick connect adapter, a 6-inch extension electrode, a round spray and fan spray nozzles and extra conical tips, as well as our 15-foot ground wire cable and our power cable. Now that we've got all our parts here, let's go ahead and move on in, and we're going to turn the machine around since that's where all the connections are on the back. All right. First off, we're going to go ahead and connect our gun power in. So our gun power goes to the gun slot right here on the top. There's a little notch right here, and the notch goes towards the top. We plug it in, a little turn, and we have our electrical connections to our gun setup now. Next, we'll go ahead and place our ground on here with our ground wire. All right. This ground wire that we've provided, this ground wire is meant to take the clamp and go back to your ground rod. So the one we provide you a ground wire so that you can hook your controller up to your ground rod. But you will need, when you start powder coating, to have a ground wire that goes from your ground rod to your part or rack or whatever system you're using to ground your parts with. So remember, you will need another ground wire to go to your parts. Next, we'll go ahead and plug our AC cable in the front here. Just your standard kind of TV, computer AC cable, removable AC cable here. Goes in just like such. All right. And right above that, we have our 110 to 220 volt selector switch. And you want to make sure that if you're 110, you got to set 110, which is most standard here in the United States, but in other parts of the world, or if you have 220 in your shop, you might want to switch to 220 so that you don't blow your unit. All right, next off, we're going to hook up all our air connections. We'll make all those first, and then we'll take them to the other parts later when we zoom out. But our first one, you can either bring a 3/8 inch air line coming in with 3/8 tubing, or you can use the adapter that we provided with the 3/8 tubing already fitted on it, and it has a female in here, so you can get a male quick connector for standard shop air lines that come off compressors. Next, we have our feed air, and that's where we will take our red 1/4 inch tubing and we will place it into our feed air. Next, we have our dosage air, and that's where we will take our 1/4 inch clear or white tubing and put it into our dosage air. Next, we have our hopper air, which is going to be our blue 1/4 inch tubing, and it's going to go right in here to our hopper air. So we made it easy for you, red, white, and blue if you live here in the States. If not, it's just definitely simple to see. And then the next connection, last connection we have on the back here, we're going to be taking our 15-foot 1/4 inch tubing, black, and that's for our rinse air. And we are going to put that right here, and that's our last connection on the back. So if we come back out, we're going to go and put all these connections to their actual places. All right. First off, we obviously have our main air coming in, and what I will do is I'm going to take the red tubing, and the red tubing goes to the feed air, which is always on the back of your pump. It doesn't really matter if you got an older pump coming from somewhere else, if you're not using one of our new pumps, but your feed air is always on the back of all pumps, no matter who makes them. Next, we will take our white or clear 1/4 inch air line, and we will put it into our dosage in our pump. That's usually the most front, located close to the ball. Next, we will take the blue, and the blue is our final hose, and we're going to put it on the hopper here. And I'll just kind of lift this up for a minute to get past the grounded hose here, but right here at the bottom, so that your fluidized air can come in and come up through the membrane. The last two connections we have are going to be two on the gun and one left on the pump or the hopper still here and on the pump. We have our rinse air, which goes to the small barb on the front of your gun here. Really easily place it there. Then we have the powder hose, the grounded powder hose. One end goes to the pump here, and the other end will easily connect down here to the middle black bar on your SpectraCoat electrostatic gun. Now we have all our parts put together so we'd be ready to powder coat. So once again, thank you for your purchase and enjoy your new SpectraCoat system from PowderByThePound.com.